We live, y'all. We are live. My first time going live, testing this thing out. Ooh, getting over some allergies, so work with your boy. Oh man, you might see a sippy straw in my coffee cup. Just got these dang braces, so I gotta sip coffee through a straw. Ain't that something? All right, y'all. So, um, thanks again for joining me. For those that are tapped in, it's your boy, the Tech Vet. Geronimo Moreno is the full name, but I go by the Tech Vet. And the reason why I go by that name is because I am a technical veteran, a veteran that's in the technical field, right? I did cybersecurity when I was on active duty and got out the military, ran an IT training school, and now I'm back in cybersecurity. But what I wanted to do was just kind of recap the last year in cybersecurity, cyber attacks, and go over the top 10 cyber attacks of the year. My top 10. They're my top 10. I don't know if they're official from anyone else. It's just my top 10. But the reason why I want to recap these is because I just want to show, veterans that want to get into cybersecurity, why there will always be a need for you. So, all right, man. So we're going to jump to it again, just to recap for anyone that just might be joining in right now. Going over my top 10 cybersecurity breaches, cybersecurity attacks of 2023. And again, the purpose of me sharing this for the veterans that want to get into cybersecurity, anybody that wants to get into cybersecurity. This applies to anyone as well, but I specifically, speak to veterans that want to get into cybersecurity when they get out of the military, who didn't do cyber or signal or IT tech, whatever you want to call it, right? I don't know what the cool kids are calling it these days. But again, the purpose of me doing this is to show that, one, every single industry needs cybersecurity talent, tech talent, right? And I believe the demand for the talent will just keep growing. Once we see how spread out these attacks are across all these different industries, you'll see, man, we're going to need you. The game will need you. I can't do this by myself, right? So, yeah, let's just jump to it, man. Let me see. Is there a way to share the screen on here? What is this? Nope, I'm not seeing it. So maybe next time I do a live stream, I'll use a streaming app. Whoever's joining in here or watching this, send me a comment or something. Let me know what type of streaming apps are good out there. But let's jump to it. So right now, I'm looking at the Move It attack. The Move It attack, this was a crazy one. Let me see. It was reported that, let me see, 20 million individuals were impacted, and as it stands today, 383 known victims are out there for the Move It attack. So basically, this was an attack by a Russian hacking group that attacked a bunch of different companies, and it's estimated that it's generated about 100 million in ransomware payments, as far as companies trying to get their data back. And again, this is crazy. It was too many companies listed to try to go through all of them. But I mean, 330. What was the number that I just shared? It was 383 known victims, right? That's a lot. That is a lot of companies to be breached with ransomware. And again, this highlights how there's a need for you. If you're serious about getting into cybersecurity, this shows you right here, those 383 companies, they need that talent, right? So that's number 10, right? As far as the top 10 attacks of 2023. Moving on to number 9. All right, so the number 9 top 10 cyber attack of 2023 is SolarWinds, which this was kind of tricky because this actually didn't happen in 2023. It happened back in 2020 during the pandemic. But this one was a big one. It affected a lot of people. The U.S. government, Navy, Army, the Pentagon, Microsoft. It affected a lot of people. And you know what? I'm looking at my sound. I'm wondering if I need to adjust my sound. How's that? Check, check, mic check, mic check, mic check. I think I'm good. Boom. All right. All right. I think my sound is good. All right. Getting back into it. All right. So SolarWinds. This one was a big one. As I was saying, it affected a bunch of different agencies in the U.S. government: the Pentagon, the Army, the Navy, Veteran Affairs, Department of Energy, FBI, and then Microsoft. Like a whole bunch of big companies, they use SolarWind products, and when they got attacked back in 2020, it put all their customers in a bad situation, right? But the reason why I'm putting it on 2023's list is because this is the year that the SEC is holding SolarWinds accountable. They actually are suing them this year. I got to go back and check to see what the results are, but that was a big deal. I covered it in some of my previous content this year, but yeah, that was a big deal. That was a big deal. For if the SEC comes after you and files a lawsuit against you, that says something, right? But again, this shows how there is a need and will always be a need for cybersecurity professionals. So if you are working on getting into cybersecurity, keep on it. Keep on it. I think it's promising, and it will always be promising, and there will always be a need for you because we gotta protect the bag, man. That's really what it comes down to. All right. So now we're going to the 8th top 10 cyber attack of 2023. And this one is pretty crazy too. The U.S. Marshal Services. U.S. Marshal Services. The people that's transmitting, convicts to prison. They were attacked with a ransomware attack. They didn't put out too much information on what the impact was, but the fact that a Department of Justice agency was attacked by a ransomware attack is pretty crazy, man. I don't have too many details on that one, but it's just the fact that the U.S. Marshals were breached. That's crazy. That's just crazy. So going to number 7, this one was a pretty big one. Facebook was breached, and 500 million users. We had our data leaked. I am a Facebook user. I put a lot of content on Facebook, and I'm over here losing my balance, just like Facebook did. But nah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I know Facebook has kind of been in the public eye quite a while. I remember when they had to go testify to Congress a while ago, just because of how they were using their users' data, selling it without making sure that us, the users, fully understood what was happening with our data. And I remember when Mark Zuckerberg was like, well, we gave him the user agreement. Man, don't nobody read those agreements. Come on now. No, but that was a big deal. That was a big deal. What I would say about that one is if there's any possibility that you have been part of that pool of 500 million users, just check your credit, put alerts on your account, stuff like that. Make sure no one's trying to use your credit to get, Lamborghinis and stuff like that. But again, so far we're at number 7. We talked about 383 companies. They weren't specifically listed as far as what I saw. SolarWinds, the U.S. Marshals, and Facebook. Different industries, right? Showing that there is a need for cybersecurity professionals. There's a need, right? So I'm going on to number 6 now, which is Clorox. Clorox, they were victims of a ransomware attack. And this one was crazy. This surprises me because it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it would have been with the public because it impacted the supply chain. I use Clorox products, right? Bleach and a lot of other products that they make. But no, I mean, they put it out there that there was going to be a shortage in cleaning supplies that they make because of this attack. And in my opinion, it kind of went under the radar a little bit. I thought that would have been a bigger deal than what it was. I don't know. Y'all let me know What y'all thought about that? But I thought that would have been a bigger deal because that affected everyday house cleaning products that I know I use. But no, but so now again, we talked about 383, excuse me, companies across all different industries. SolarWinds, which is a it's a network software company. Cybersecurity, ironic, right? That a cybersecurity company was attacked like that. The U.S. Marshals, U.S. government, right? Facebook, social media, technology company, Clorox, a cleaning company, right? Cleaning products. Everybody who does not use some form of Clorox product. That's what I would like to know. Again, these are showing you different opportunity pathways for those that want to get into cybersecurity. So moving on, T-Mobile. T-Mobile is number 5 on my list of top 10 cybersecurity breaches of 2023. And this one was crazy. 37 million customers' data was breached. I remember getting something in the mail earlier this year about a class action suit and asking if I wanted to be in that class action suit. I never did the paperwork or whatever. I think you had to call a number or something. I forgot the specifics on it, but I remember getting that notification that I was possibly breached. I just never took the time because I ain't got time, cuz. I'm too busy, man. In my mind, all money ain't good money, but no shade on anyone else that did take the time out. Let me know if you took the time out to participate in that class action suit. Let me know, and how did that go for you? But that was crazy because now we're talking about a communications company, right? Like I said, I use T-Mobile, so no one is what's the word, exempt from being a target. Now, when I say no one, I'm really talking about companies. All companies, especially if they're valuable. Target, I mean, not well, Target. I don't even know why I said Target. That's from years ago, but it's imprinted in my brain. But T-Mobile, Clorox, the U.S. Marshals, Facebook, those are high value targets, right? Because if I'm a hacker, I may not come after me, Geronimo Moreno, because I don't have as much money as T-Mobile, Clorox, Facebook, but yeah, I don't have money like them, but they do. So I mean, any company like that are high value, they're targets, and then secondary targets can be their users and or customers, right? Um, but it's really just, I don't think the individual has to worry about it too much unless you're a high value individual like a Mark Zuckerberg. But yeah, again, now we've covered a cleaning product company, a social media company. Now we're talking about communications company, right? Everybody got a cell phone, right? At this point, I think the real question would be, who does not have a cell phone? All right, so that was number 5 on the list, T-Mobile, cyber attack. Now we're going down to number 4. Number 4 on the list. It's funny because 4 is my favorite number. You ever have those conversations on, hey, what's your favorite number? Mine is number 4. Number 4. But number 4 on my list of the top 10 cyber attacks for 2023, the Las Vegas casino attacks. And the most notable were Caesars and MGM. Now, Caesars, they actually paid out the ransom. I believe it was like 30 million in ransom that they paid to the attackers, which is crazy because the FBI always recommends do not pay the ransom. I have conversations like this with my team all the time. And when this was happening, we were talking about that. And I remember, telling one of my contemporaries, not a good idea, because one of the reasons why the FBI, they recommend not, well, one of the reasons why the FBI recommends not paying the ransom is because you're not guaranteed to get the data back. So You know, that's a tough one, right? So they paid the ransom, not guaranteed to get it back, plus the damages they're going to incur moving forward, right? Because you got to compensate your stakeholders, protect your stakeholders, stuff like that. And then when it comes down to compliance, if you know the investigations found that they did not check a box, there may be fines they have to pay. So it gets expensive really quick, right? On top of paying a ransom, I would much rather have to, you know, save my money to pay whatever has to be paid with the fallout, and containing the breach and the after actions, right? Versus doing all of that, because you're gonna have to pay that anyway, right? And pay the ransom. That's crazy to me. That they actually paid any company that pays it. I want to say I don't understand why they would pay the ransom, but I kind of do. Me knowing, you know, working in the cybersecurity field, I know why you shouldn't pay. But if you're not a cybersecurity professional, I can empathize and see why you think it's a good idea to pay it, even though the FBI says don't pay it. Even if I wasn't a cybersecurity professional, I would just listen to the FBI on that one. But and then MGM, they refused to pay the ransom. But even though, you know, they didn't pay the ransom, they still reported a loss of $100 million just over that whole span of what happened. And that was big, man. People couldn't check into their rooms, people couldn't play any like slot machines. It was a big ordeal. People couldn't order food, people couldn't make reservations. Had to go back to the old school on that when they had to give people physical keys. Imagine that. In the year 2023, we are in a technical era, technical age, and you had to use a physical key in Vegas, right? That's just first world problems, but still, right? People don't want to have to use physical keys when they go to Vegas, especially, you know, at a casino as expensive as the MGM. I've been there. It's a very nice casino. You know, you got the UFC fights and boxing fights and stuff up there. That was crazy. But MGM, I think they took the best path. They didn't pay the ransom because, again, they still came out of pocket $100 million. Now, imagine had they paid their ransom. They would have, you know, come out of pocket $100 million plus whatever ransom they would have paid out. And again, not guaranteed that they get the data back. But what does that mean for you, right? It's if you're thinking about getting into cybersecurity, there you go. Now that's the casino industry, the gambling industry, entertainment industry, however you want to spin it. Vegas, they need you. They're trying to get a piece of this cybersecurity action too. Whether they're trying to get a piece of it or not, they need it. They need it too, man. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. So far, man, we've talked about the government, U.S. government, entertainment companies, social media companies, cleaning product company, right? Other technology companies like SolarWinds, they will always need cybersecurity professional, cybersecurity talent to help just secure their data. And more importantly, secure their customers' data. All right, so moving on to the top three. The top three cybersecurity attacks of 2023. We'll go ahead and jump to it. Microsoft. I remember when this came out, but it came out via the State Department being breached. Let me pull up my notes on this one real quick. So that was a big deal. I remember getting an email saying that the State Department was breached. And that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. Basically, Microsoft got breached through them. State Department was breached. U.S. government, they were not happy. They were not happy with that. I'll tell you that. And I know Microsoft does a lot of business with the government. They weren't happy. There was some connections too with the SolarWinds breach that I was telling y'all about. Because remember earlier, I told you that when SolarWinds got breached, that affected Microsoft. So there was some connections there, but that was a big deal. The fact that the State Department got breached via Microsoft, that was crazy. So again, another tech company, Microsoft. You don't really get much bigger than Microsoft. Who's bigger than Microsoft? Is it Google? Is it Apple? Maybe Amazon? I know they all compete, especially in the cloud space, but I actually have friends that got out the military and work for Microsoft. I know quite a few people that do all kind of things from cybersecurity, cloud type services from Microsoft. Again, that's another pathway of opportunities for you if you are considering getting into cybersecurity. So now we're down to the top two. The top two cyber attacks of 2023. 2023. That's funny. That's a good segue because number 2 on my list is 23andMe. 23andMe was attacked, and 6 million customers had their records leaked. That one was crazy. Like just like the Clorox one, I'm actually shocked that it wasn't as big of a deal with the public as I thought it would be. I posted about this on YouTube, and someone made a comment on one of my posts on YouTube saying that this is like the recipe for bioweapons. And I agree. I didn't think about it like that when I made my content about it. Did not even think about that. But what's the best way to make a bioweapon to attack a certain group of people? Let me get their DNA records. Then I can customize a bioweapon that can, be targeted towards a specific DNA makeup, right? That was crazy. That was crazy. That was a big one, in my opinion, right? Again, I didn't see the anger from the public that I thought I would have seen, but and the users actually, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to talk trash about the users because if you don't work in cybersecurity, you just don't really know, right? Not that many people would breach, but it was the people that would breach. There was a function. I think it was DNA relatives. If you enabled that function, that guided the attackers to your family members. So let's say I never got on the whole 23andMe wave, right? I just never did it. Sometimes I'm late on trends, man, and on this one, I'm kind of happy I was late on this trend. But let's just say if I had a 23andMe account and I enabled the DNA relatives, then through my account, the hackers can find all my relatives and go after them. And in this case, maybe money wasn't even the target. It was more specifically, when it was reported, there was a specific group, ethnic group of people, and I don't want to say the names of that group because I give you a hint. Kanye West didn't say favorable words about this group of people. I'm not saying anything. I will not say it because I don't want anyone accusing me of being anti anything. But in light of what's going on in the world, right? We know what's going on in the Middle East. And one side of that fight targeted people, with ancestry to the other side, right? That's how I saw it originally play out. And that group was specifically targeted. And that goes back to what I was saying about bioweapons. If I'm at war with a group of people, I get access to their DNA, I'm going to make a bioweapon to target that group of people. It is what it is. It's just smart, man. Hey, Tupac said, plan, plot, strategize, and bomb first, right? Maybe that's their way of trying to bomb first in a different way, using cyber as the mechanism to build up. I got to watch my words because I don't know how this live works. I'm still kind of new to YouTube. I was going to say something, but to build a beast of a bioweapon, right? So yeah, ancestry and genetic info was breached in that one. That was crazy. Again, I didn't see a dollar figure tied to that, but what scared me with that attack again was that ancestry and genetic data that was breached. So if you're a 23andMe user, check your accounts, change your password. I know they rolled that out, said change your password. And again, This is you're talking. This is more of a science company, bio company, DNA company. Again, they obviously need help with cybersecurity. So if you are someone, especially a veteran who's trying to get into cybersecurity, this is definitely a pathway for you. And then now we're down to number one. Drum roll, please. I'm over here shaking my camera and stuff. All right. So my number one cyber attack 2023 is the Oakland ransomware attack. And the reason why this one is number one in my book is because this forced the city of Oakland to declare a state of emergency. Now that's crazy. I'm used to seeing the state of emergency being declared after like a natural disaster, maybe after some type of, excuse me, maybe after some type of terrorist attack. Normally something physical. That was crazy. That was crazy that a cyber attack forced the city to go into a state of emergency. And that just kind of shows the world we live in today. We live in such a digital world to where these criminals didn't even have to leave their house. I mean, they could have been at a Starbucks somewhere on the phone or something. And just something as simple as that forced the city to essentially shut down. A bunch of non-emergency services were shut down. They had to close down government buildings. That's crazy. That's crazy. They had to shut down government buildings, man. And then the biggest thing from this attack was there was 10 years of sensitive data stolen, including information about the po-po. I'm from California, LA, and unfortunately, where I grew up, we never had the best relationship with the police. We called them the po-po. I came up in the NWA era. I mean, I got respect for them now, since I am a veteran. So anyone that takes the oath to serve, I got respect for you. But I had to work on that. But damn, can you say that on YouTube without getting penalized? Can you say damn on YouTube? I don't know. But the fact that these attackers were able to get sensitive data for the police of Oakland, that's scary. Because like I said, the police, they're not known for making a lot of friends. So if I'm an attacker and I'm able to get access to 10 years worth of police officer information and I leak it, the implications of that, in my opinion, are very scary. Very scary. Very scary. So, but again, that's it right there. Oakland, another government entity, agency, right? That was attacked. And again, that shows that there's opportunities out there if you're trying to get into cybersecurity. So just to recap, top 10 cyber attacks of 2023 was the transported attack, which affected 383 companies. SolarWinds attack, which impacted Microsoft, several different agencies of the U.S. government, the U.S. Marshals ransomware attack, the Facebook data leak, Clorox data leak, T-Mobile data breach, the casino attack out there in Vegas, the Microsoft cyber breach, the 23andMe data breach, and then the Oakland ransomware attack. Those are my top 10 cyber attacks of 2023. And again, I wanted to share this, and I'll start doing more stuff like this, just really to show, where these cybersecurity job opportunities, career opportunities are for those that want to get into cybersecurity. So, again, we're about to get into 2024. Anyone that checked in with me, thank you, appreciate it. If you are trying to get into cybersecurity, I'm gonna let you know right now. It's a lot of work, a lot of studying, a lot of learning. You will never stop learning. I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm still learning stuff. But again, thanks for checking in with your boy. Stay tuned and I'll put more information like that out for you. And Happy New Year. Cheers to your success.